We've got the Volvo XC40 Recharge. It is Volvo's first ever all-electric vehicle.
Recently, we had a chance to drive the regular gasoline version of this XC40. It's a great product. Let's see if this is better. Now, Andrea, typically you say what's under the hood, but with an electric car, you say what's under the floor.
Well, it's got 250 kilowatt motors, one in the front, one in the rear, 402 horsepower, and 486 pound-feet of torque.
And the range is officially rated at 335 kilometers, and this thing's quick. It'll go to 100 kilometers an hour in just 4.9 seconds.
So it comes with a 78 kilowatt battery, and with the DC fast charger up to 150 kilowatts, you can charge this baby 80% in 40 minutes.
Now I want to talk about the XC40. We drove it just a few weeks ago actually, and you can click on the card up here if you want to watch our review of that vehicle. And you know, there's going to be some people that think, okay, they basically took a gasoline version and they electrified it. But you know what? In this case, I think it works because that product is so good, right? It's what people buy. They want SUVs. So they just electrified what was already very successful. And I think that's not a bad strategy for your first electric car to come out with an SUV.
For sure. And then of course, this compact utility, like you said, everybody is just going crazy for this size.
And you don't give anything up when it comes to interior space. You have the same amount of cargo space, same back seat, but you get a different front trunk.
Yeah, is that not cool? And that's where the spare tire kit is. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a spare tire, but you've got a spare tire kit.
But you know what? Great packaging. You don't give anything up, and that's a bonus for a lot of people.
And it's made in Belgium.
Yes. A lot of people are curious about it. Is it made in China? I always think this is funny. People say, well, is it made in China? Well, your smartphone, your laptop, your TV, pretty much your toaster, your kettle, everything's made in China. But people are like, oh, you couldn't have a Chinese-made car.
No, well, it's not. It's made in Belgium.
It's made in Belgium. All right, let's get into the key standard features.
The Volvo XC40 Recharge comes with a 9-inch touchscreen, a 12.3-inch driver display, panoramic sunroof, heated front seats, power-operated tailgate, keyless entry, LED headlights, lane keeping aid and park assist, blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert, and 19-inch wheels.
So Andrea, what do we have to put it in?
We have to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit the notification bell, you'll get notified every time a video drops, and then you can watch them.
And if you hit the notification bell, we guarantee every day when you wake up, your car will be spotlessly clean, even the wheels, okay? Ooh. And if you want to follow along on Instagram, we still have questions, coffee, and cars to come, our hot topic, and a whole bunch more. Follow Andrea on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea, and for me, it's Motormouth_Auto. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below. So what do you think about the way this thing drives?
Fantastic. The steering is precise. It takes corners with ease. It's smooth. The turning radius is excellent. And I really like this one-touch pedal system. So what it does is it really slows down when you take your foot off the acceleration.
All the way down to zero.
All the way down to zero. So some people might think that there's a lot of kind of pushing and pulling with it. Like, I'll take my foot off now.
See, the thing is, it's like driving a manual transmission. The driver knows when they're changing gears, but everybody else in the car, their head bobs back and forth. It's the same thing with the one touch. You know you're going to lift off, and this regen braking phenomenon, like as the passenger, you're doing it, it's making me feel a little queasy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and that's one of the things about electric cars is, depending on how you drive them, they can make you feel, like we found that with the Taycan.
Yes.
This thing's quick.
So quick.
You know, it has like the base model Taycan kind of performance to it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I really like the feel of it. I'm super impressed.
The one thing I like about it is that a lot of other electric car makers, well, let's just say Tesla, they rely on the fact that there's no internal combustion engine to reduce the noise levels. But some of their cars actually have quite a bit of road noise and wind noise. Now, Volvo has paid a lot of attention to the refinement of the ride absent of a gasoline engine, you want to have it so quiet, and it is.
It's really quiet. The cabin is super quiet.
And
it feels like a luxury brand, doesn't it?
That's what I was going to say. It feels really well made and really well done, and they've obviously done their homework, and yeah, it feels like a premium brand should. Okay, that you got to turn that off. That is making me sick.
Okay, shut it off.
Honestly, like every time you lift off the gas,
I know.
It's making me feel sick. Oh,
okay, there.
Thank God.
Okay.
Now, Andrew, from about 50 paces, you would not be able to tell this is anything unique.
No, it looks just like the gas version. The only difference really is there's no tailpipes and the front grille is nice and smooth.
And the subtle recharge badging, and some people will want to get attention.
Yeah.
I'm driving an electric car, and there's going to be people who like it being under the radar. Which are you? All right, you know what? While we have a moment, let's stop and have a look at the competition.
For your consideration, 4 categories and 4 vehicles for you to consider.
The main competitor is pretty obvious. It's the Tesla Model Y long-range all-wheel drive with 525 kilometers of electric range. It too goes 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in about 5 seconds and comes in at almost $70,000. There is a rear-wheel drive standard available for $56,290. It has 393 kilometers of EV range and goes 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.6 seconds.
Our next category goes to the German alternative, Volkswagen ID.4. It has 400 kilometers of EV range and it goes 0 to 100 in 5.8 seconds. It'll be available in Canada this summer with a starting price of almost $40,000 US. The Canadian pricing has not been announced yet.
The newest competitor is the Ford Mustang Mach-E with up to 482 kilometers of range and has a starting price of just over $50,000.
And our final category goes to the Japanese alternative, the Nissan Ariya all-wheel drive with up to 482 kilometers of EV range. Pricing is not being announced yet, but it is expected to go on sale the latter part of this year.
And there are 4 vehicles for your consideration. Now, we mentioned it has this Google connectivity, right? Mm-hmm. But I think the main thing is this is going to be the platform for Volvo moving forward. And I think more brands are going to be adopting this Android system because it's much quicker. Mm-hmm. You can load up different apps on it. And the sensitivity, not just the sensitivity, but how quick and responsive this head unit is an improvement over the last one.
Oh my gosh, a huge improvement. You still get a standard 9-inch screen here. But I actually prefer this over the gas XC40 and that system that's in it. This is just so cool.
All right, time to stop for coffee.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Heated and cooled seats, adjustability on seats, comfort level. Well, the front comes with standard heated seats. And if you get the climate package, you get the heated rear seats, you get a 4-way lumbar support, and of course the heated steering wheel.
But Volvo does great seats, generally, so you're going to be comfortable.
Is the drivetrain in this the same as the Polestar 2, or is this a unique new one that Volvo has developed? Exactly the same.
So Geely is the parent company. It's a Chinese-based company. And then Volvo had Polestar as a sport division, and they spun it off as a separate brand, kind of the way Volkswagen has Audi, right? They run it as a totally separate business. So Polestar 2 is the electric version of this.
Are there real-life cold climate range estimates as batteries hate the cold? Yes, batteries do hate the cold for sure. Volvo says this gets up to 335 kilometers of electric range. Unfortunately, we just don't have the vehicles for long enough to really break that down. I wish we could.
Yeah, we've only got it for a couple of days. And yes, cold weather will affect batteries. Depends on how much you preheated the car, how much heat you're using, how long you're driving. There's so many variables, but yes, it will be affected.
Does it come with the heat pump for the AC, and will you check the loss of range with the heat on? No, it doesn't come with the heat pump. You have to pay extra. It's $450. As for the loss of range with the heat on, we just don't have these vehicles for long enough.
Yeah, and you know what? You can precondition the car while it's plugged in, all of those things. You know, results will vary, but cold will affect the car. The good news is a heat pump is available. It's just not standard equipment.
Yes. And that's it.
All right, if you want to follow along, get a question in for Questions, Coffee, and Cars, or for our hot topic, follow Andrea. It's Motormouth_Andrea. And now, because you hear the music, it's time for Nightlife. So we have a new feature where we take one of your questions from Questions, Coffee, and Cars and expand on it. Yes. And it's called our hot topic, and Andrew's going to read it out.
Does it have the new Volvo Android-based infotainment? It sure does. It is fantastic.
And this is the first car in the world to have this, and I think you're going to see more and more of this. Is anybody bought a smart TV in the last few years? If you have one of those new smart TVs where everything's connected, it's all running on their Google or Android system.
Yes.
And we're going to start seeing that in cars, and this is the first car to have it. So you have with Android, or for Siri, if you have an Apple phone, the ability to ask questions to look things up.
Yes.
But this is slightly different because now you can ask the system to do things in the car. All right, for example, okay, Google, can you turn on the heated steering wheel?
Okay, turning on the steering wheel heater.
How perfect is that? Hey Google, can you turn on the heated seats?
Sure, turning on the seat heater for the driver.
Love it.
Okay, Google, can you set the temperature to 22 degrees Celsius?
Sure, changing the temperature to 22 degrees.
How about that? Hey Google, can you take me to the nearest charging station?
Navigating to Flow charging station.
Nice. Now, Andrea, one of the biggest considerations for choosing electric cars, how much does it cost?
I know.
So let's do a price pause on this.
The Recharge starts at $64,950. You can get away with this price if you get it in black and you don't add any packages like the climate package. If you want a heated steering wheel or the rear heated seats, you're gonna have to spend $1,000.
Who's gonna want a car without heated seats and heated steering wheel? Come on, listen, it's gonna cost what it's gonna cost. You get rebates in many parts of the country, so that's good. And you have to pay for an electric car. That's just the way it is.
That's right.
So you have to decide if you're willing to make that change and save money by not buying gas, but you have to pay more for the car.
And do more for the environment. I mean, it's all part of that package. I don't think it's all just about saving fuel. I think this is such a great product. Volvo has done an awesome job at its first kick of the can of an all-electric vehicle, and then you get this awesome Android automotive system in here.
Yeah, it's actually nice because if you've ever used voice commands in a car, most of them are crap.
Yeah.
But Google does it the best, in my opinion. So you're piggybacking on a company that does great voice commands and putting it into your car. So all of those annoying voice commands you used to not be able to get to work, now they work.
Which is good.
Okay, ready? Okay, Google, let's wrap up the review.
Wrap? Sorry, I'm not sure.
Volvo's done a great job with their very first electric vehicle. I'm super impressed.
What I like about it is it has all of the functionality, space, and drivability of the regular gas version. You're just using no gas. And thanks again to Volvo of Vancouver for letting us borrow this for a couple of days. Much appreciated. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.